You wanna go downstairs? Do you? You wanna go downstairs? Hi everybody, Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records, and this is my entry into Beth's contest. Beth over at B-Side Records has a Game On contest, and I've seen Rachel's, Chris's, I believe. I've seen a handful of these. I thought I would do mine, but before I do, I hope everybody's being smart out there in this difficult time. Stay keeping your distance from folks so that we can all be together again later on and not lose anybody if we can help it. Scary times right now. I just saw a text, or not a text, but a Instagram or Twitter or something that the great John Prine has been admitted and was admitted in the hospital on Thursday and is on a ventilator now as of Saturday night. So let's everybody pray. If you're a believer, if you pray for him, I appreciate it. I believe in the power of prayer. If you're not, if that's not what you do, but you got some way to send positive vibes out there for his health and for so many others, not just him, but so many others out there that are going through some tough medical crises right now. Especially our friends up in the New York area and Louisiana area seem to be getting hit really hard right now. So, with that said, what I'm playing right now is an album from Robin and Linda Williams, and this one's called Close as We Can Get on Flying Fish Records from 1984. And some pretty music they put out. All right, so Beth has set this up along the lines of 4 board games, or 5 board games actually. The first one was Connect 4, so we're to connect, show a connection between 4 albums. All right, from 1970, there's Livingston Taylor. Yes, he is the brother of James, and a very good musician in his own right. Wet Willie, Keep On Shining. That's from 1974. Also from 1974, Kitty Wells, Forever Young, and that is, she does do the Bob Dylan song Forever Young on this one, along with some other pretty neat tunes. She does I've Been Loving You Too Long, the Otis Redding, Jerry Butler song on there as well. But Kitty Wells, the Dixie Dregs, What If, jazz rock fusion, I guess is what you would call this. So, what does a jazz rock fusion album, a classic country music singer who enjoyed her first hit in the 1940s, I believe it was, a Southern soul band, and a singer-songwriter? What's the connection between those 4? Well, let's see. That's not a good one to use. Let's see. They're all on Capricorn Records. Think Capricorn Records as being the home of the Allman Brothers and Southern rock. But as you can see, they had a wide variety of music released on Capricorn Records. Okay, so that's my Connect 4 albums that are connected by the same record label, released all 4 very diverse albums. All right, number 2 was Monopoly. Show a rare or expensive or valuable, doesn't have to be valuable in a financial sense, but valuable record. So This is kind of both actually. This is a original press mono of Pet Sounds, and it's worth some money. Why is it valuable to me? Well, I worked really hard to get this record in good shape. I cleaned it, and it still played very poorly. A lot of surface noise. I've cleaned it again, not much improvement. Cleaned it again. Finally, I'd been working on my cleaning methods for records, and I've settled on a method I think is the most effective, and cleaned it one more time. Didn't really think it would make any difference, but it actually did clean out some more of the surface noise, to the point where I moved this from a G plus up to a VG low end VG minus I would call it. But this is and because it's mono and first pressing. I don't know that it's like the very first press, but it's an early mono pressing. Uh, it makes it financially have some value, but I'm not going to sell it. But more valuable, besides what I said about working so hard on it and that it's financially kind of valuable. The first collection of a person's record collection I ever got, I bought from um, uh, an antique dealer in Benson, who had just picked up the records out of an estate sale. Nobody else wanted them, and he gave them a little bit of money for them. Not much. And I ended up buying them in two parts, buying the collection from him. And people hate names on records, but I don't. Evelyn A. Faulkner. Evelyn A. Faulkner. So I've got Evelyn's records and her boyfriend's records. And to me, this is fascinating. I can't call the boyfriend's name right now, but I try to put together the story, because some have his name on it, some have her name on it, a few of them have both their names on it, different last names though. But I'm thinking they either lived together, which would have been scandalous in the mid to late 1960s when they were collecting records, scandalous in eastern North Carolina, or maybe they eventually got married and combined their collections together. But got some really good records from that collection. A lot of Beatles, Chet Atkins, Beach Boys, lots of obviously mid 60s music is what almost all of it was. But so that gives this a lot of value to me. Okay, all right, and so that's rare or expensive. And murder, the game Clue. So a song about a murder, from ballads from Deep Gap, Doc and Merle Watson. I think this is about 1966 album or so. It includes the song "The Lawson Family Murders" or "Murder," and written by Norman Woodleaf. This is a true story. In 1929, Charlie Lawson murdered his wife and 6 children on Christmas Day, and a song was written about it. A lot of speculation about why. He had a head injury, possibly he had some brain trauma. There's one theory that Johns Hopkins University medical facility did an autopsy and they could find nothing. But that was 1929, so who knows? There had been rumors that he was sexually abusing his 17-year-old daughter, and it could have been caused by that, and possibly she had become pregnant, and there's the explosion in the household. But he killed a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 17-year-old daughter, his wife, who was 37 at the time. He was 43. He sent his 16-year-old son on an errand right before he did this. So they had 7 children. The oldest son was not killed, but he killed everybody else, and then he went out in the woods, and hours later he killed himself. Whew. Uh, the Lawson family murder. Okay, and then number 4, the game Battleship, and we needed a album with a ship or a boat. How about from 1977, Crosby, Stills, and Nash? This is probably Crosby's boat here. He was the one that was all into sailing. And I've got a note on here, although the cover looks rough, you don't play the cover, right? It plays very good plus. But I've got a note on here that says serious pose. And you notice there he's a little bit smiling, but the others are pretty serious looking here. And evidently there were 2 different covers, one with this pose with them all smiling or laughing, and one with them looking very serious. And so there's some significance to that, evidently. Okay, and finally, let's see if you can figure out my trivia here. This is a tough one, but I'm going to show you 4 albums, and the key here are the musicians that play on the albums, who's in the band. Okay, so I'm going to show you 4 albums, and you tell me how at least one, sometimes more than one, member of this band and on this album is connected with with someone from the others. It's a band. What band connects all 4 of these? Best way to put it. Okay, there's music from Big Pink by the band. Think about who the members of the band were. There's Firefall. Think about who the leader of Firefall is, or was. There's an early Eagles album, Desperado, their second album. Think about who the members of the Eagles were at that time. And there's Country Gazette. And there are 4 members in the Country Gazette when they did this album. This is Don't Give Up Your Day Job. And all 4 meet the criteria of these. Okay, the others only have 1 member each. So, how do you tie at least 1 member of each of those 4 bands I showed the albums from together into one band? Not necessarily at the same time. Okay, so there's Connect 4, Monopoly, Clue, Battleship, and Trivia Pursuit. If you think you know what the connection is in that Trivia Pursuit question, put your answer down below, and if you get it right, I'll let Beth know that you did. I've got a feeling that if Grandma's handbag watches this video, he might know the answer.